It's a dark day for Indian democracy, viewers. A Times Now Navbharat journalist has been arrested by the Punjab police ostensibly for hurling caste slurs at a member that the police believes was from the SC/ST community. A charge that appears as much fantastical as is funny. It beats logic. How could have a reporter possibly guessed the caste of a total stranger she had not even met earlier? But the AAP government in Punjab hasn't bothered to offer any clarification, leave alone any evidence of wrongdoing or guilt on the part of our reporter. However, there definitely exists some evidence which smells of a dark, deep and dirty plot to frame a journalist. A couple of videos of the moment of arrest of the journalist Bhawana and the accompanying crew shows first reactions from a startled reporter who seems completely unaware of the diabolical designs of an arrogant administration hell-bent on misuse of authority. Like you, we have been left wondering too if this is the cost media must pay for speaking truth to power. Is this the price the journalist must pay for seeking accountability from public representatives and holding them to their word? In this case, the Aam Aadmi Party government and the party must know, as they should, owing to their original ethos of anti-corruption and probity in public life, that Operation Sheesh Mahal was a journalistic responsibility and not a political hit job, and that politicians can't run away from their responsibility. Navika Kumar, the group editor at Times Network, has this to say over arrest of Bhawana.
Times Network's Bhawana Kishore, along with video journalist Mrityunjay Kumar and our driver Parminder, have all been arrested. The charge against them is that they were covering a public event being attended by Delhi Chief Minister Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann. We know why this case has foisted on our team reporting from this ground, simply because Times Network, Times Now and Times Now Navbharat have been at the forefront of exposing since the last 2.5 weeks Operation Sheesh Mahal, showing the luxurious residence built for Delhi Chief Minister Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Bhawana Kishore went to a public function in Ludhiana where the invitation had come to journalists, including our group, for coverage of the event, and after that, how she has been stopped, how she has been arrested by a policeman not even wearing his nameplate, how she's been intimidated, is something that we have captured on our cameras. The truth is before everybody. But of course, the law exists and sections of the law can always be misused and used to intimidate reporters. And this is being done by the Aam Aadmi Party government at a time when they have been screaming foul about democracy under threat. Today we want to tell every single political party that Times Network will never back off. Truth is our dharma, and we will continue to follow the path of truth. We will not stray from that commitment that we made 3 decades ago, me personally, when I became a journalist.
And here's some breaking inputs coming in. Big relief to Bhawana, Mrityunjay and Parminder. The High Court has granted interim bail to Bhawana. This is a tight slap on the Punjab police, the Punjab administration, the court stepping in, granting interim relief to Bhawana. Remember, our reporter Bhawana arrested by the Punjab police in the most brazen manner, and what can easily be called as a proof of intimidation. The pictures playing on the right of your screen. Look at the behavior of the policeman. This one in particular not even bothering to carry the badge on his uniform. And when we asked her, where are you taking her? He had no response, nothing to say. And there you see Bhawana sitting inside the car, obviously helpless, but she was targeted for only doing a job, because there were no answers forthcoming from the Aam Aadmi Party on Operation Sheesh Mahal. So our hashtag release Bhawana Kishore has at least got her some relief. The Punjab Haryana High Court granting relief to Bhawana Parminder, and our video journalist Mrityunjay Tiwari. Swapnil Kothari, senior lawyer, is with us. So is Ashwani Kumar Dubey. Mr. Kothari, what would you say? Did you see this coming? For Bhavna? All right, let's first go to our group editor Navita Kumar.
लेकिन इस वक्त की बड़ी खबर यह है कि मेरिट्स पर केस कल दलीलें होंगी और
पक्ष है नाविका जी जो हम सवाल उठा रहे थे कि भाई ये कहा जा रहा भावना गई जाति सूचक शब्दों का इस्तेमाल कर दिया लड़ाई में इसलिए एससी एसटी एक्ट लग गया। अगर जज को भी ये लग रहा है कि कोई आज ही आया है और लड़ाई में एससी एसटी शब्द का कैसे इस्तेमाल हो जाएगा, ये अपने आप में बड़ी बात है।
बिल्कुल, और ये सवाल पूछा गया है वहां जज द्वारा कोर्ट में कि ये किस तरह का केस है, कैसे एससी एसटी एक्ट लगाया गया है इस केस में। लेकिन इस वक्त हमने कहा था ये कि इस वक्त सबसे बड़ी अदालत होती है ऊपर, जो हमें बहुत सा विश्वास भी देती है और हमें बहुत सारा हमारा जो पूरी लड़ाई है उसका दम हमें से आता है। आज हमारी कोर्ट में इंटरिम जमानत भावना किशोर को मिली है और उसके बाद कल इस मुद्दे पर फिर से बहस होगी और दूसरे दोनों
हमारे बड़ी खबर आ रही है कि कोर्ट में ऑर्डर पढ़ा जा रहा है, भावना को जमानत मिल गई है, हाई कोर्ट से बेल मिल गई है। और मैं बार बार कह रहा हूं ये भावना की जीत नहीं है, ये इस देश की जीत है कि आप देखिए एक पूरा सिस्टम खड़ा हो जाता है सवालों से बचने के लिए। सवाल
हमें ये बताया जा रहा है कि इस तरह के सवाल पूछे गए, अभी ऑर्डर अभी भी डिक्टेट किया जा रहा है। शायद जो दलीलें हैं वो कल इस पर बहस होगी, लेकिन इस वक्त हमें अपने आप को रोकना पड़ेगा। बाकी क्या कहा गया है, लेकिन इंटरिम बेल इज बीइंग ग्रांटेड टू द लेडी, ये हमारे रिपोर्टर ने वहां सुना है। तो सुशांत जी, शायद हमें इस वक्त दिल थाम के बैठना है क्योंकि पूरा ऑर्डर अभी डिक्टेट नहीं हुआ है। इस पर आगे
एक बार गौरव के पास चलते हैं।
नहीं, अभी मैं चाहूंगी कि हम गौरव के पास ना जाएं क्योंकि इस वक्त हमें वेट करना है जो हमारे लॉयर हमें क्या बताते हैं, क्योंकि लॉयर का मैसेज अभी मेरे फोन पर आया है और लॉयर का कहना है ऑर्डर इज बीइंग डिक्टेटेड, प्लीज वेट। तो हम अभी इंतजार कर रहे हैं, हमारे लॉयर जब बाहर आएंगे तो हम उनसे बात करके केस की पेचीदगी को समझने की कोशिश करेंगे। लेकिन जब समय मांगा था एडवोकेट जनरल ने तो हमारे लॉयर ने ये दलील दी थी।
Navita, we understand. We'll wait for the court order, so we'll wait till we have it in writing from the court. Let me go to our guests. Swapnil Kothari is with us. Swapnil Kothari, let's just talk about the circumstances around which this arrest first takes place. Isn't it bizarre?
Pranesh, I think the whole nation knows that it was one of the most freaky cases that actually even I have seen in my whole lifetime of 30 years of legal practice. It is absolutely bizarre to levy a section under SC/ST Act. I mean, if you look at Section 3, the offences under SC/ST Act, I mean, it's absolutely laughable. By no stretch of imagination can she be held liable for any of those things, to whatever that has been mentioned. She did not even know the caste of the person. She was not in the driving seat. Still, there was a charge on some sort of accident or some negligent driving or anything of that sort. We all know why this was levied, why this FIR was filed. This was bogus. The very fact that interim bail has been granted, and of course, we'll wait for the written order. But I am certain that the bail would be granted because when you have a bizarre case and a fictitious case like that, obviously the High Court is going to come down very heavily on the administration because here you are dealing with the freedom of the individual. And not only that, but you are dealing with violation or gross violation of law where you arrested a woman after sunset. I mean, and that too being males. I mean, she's being escorted by the male policeman. What nonsense is this? How bizarre can it act? And people are talking about endangering of democracy when they themselves don't believe in a shred of it. It's absolute nonsense. And I urge Times Now, which I told Pratibha also in the morning, that you please put up your petition and please put up your order also on the website so that everybody knows what has happened and make a big issue out of this case so that this is nipped in the bud. Because if it is not done so, tomorrow somebody could enter right now at 7 p.m. and drag any of you out for doing something of this sort, for doing your job. because this is absolute utter nonsense. I mean, it is something which is, I cannot believe that something of this sort can happen, especially when a journalist or a reporter has been invited to cover the event. So was it a trap? Was it pre-orchestrated? These are all big questions. I'm not happy with just bail be granted. I want this to be reaching its absolute logical conclusion. And I know that Operation Sheesh Mahal will continue undaunted, because the nation needs to know that what has happened beyond 45 crores, where have they come from?
Ashwani Kumar Dubey, what do you make of what the Punjab police has done? This case and the arrest?
It's a complete abuse, misuse by the state authorities. The state is patronizing the Indian Penal Code as per his own whims in order to suppress the vibe of a person who was there to discharge her journalistic freedom. Two, that law is very clear. Section 46, subsection 6 of the Code of Criminal Procedure has laid down certain guidelines. Guideline number 1, that the arrest of a lady shall be made before sunset and after sunrise. Admittedly, the arrest was made after the sunset. The arrest, point 2, the arrest shall be made only by a woman police officer. What we have seen, the videos, this cop is a male police officer, that to his name is not being displayed. Third, the arresting police officer shall obtain permission for such arrest from the judicial magistrate first class, not executive magistrate within whose local jurisdiction the offence is committed to. Fourth, the arrest is, if arrest is to be made in a draconian law like the Atrocities Act, the SC/ST Act, then the first FIR has to be registered. Here the FIR, preventive detention, was done before, and the arrest, the FIR was registered later. That too under section 427. Mischief, what mischief was caused? So it shows that the complete wrongful, malicious prosecution has been instituted at the behest of the state against a person who was there to discharge his journalistic freedom. The journalistic freedom which the Supreme Court also protects. The Supreme Court from time to time have held that the freedom of the press cannot be curtailed unless an imminent danger to the public safety. What danger to the public safety was there? The state has to answer. The Supreme Court has also said that the press has a significant role to play in informing the public and promoting democratic values. So she was there in order to perform the duties which protects her under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution of India. It's a blatant attack on the press of the freedom. And not only this, hit and run की case में draconian SC/ST Act लगाना यानी समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है, and that too you are taking in the preventive measure. ऐसे NSA के केसेस में ऐसे तो अरेस्ट करते हैं पहले और NSA 4 स्लैप बाद में करते हैं, and this is a complete case where if any offense has been committed for hit and run, and then hit and run only should be applied against the driver. Passengers have nothing to do. Law does not say that the passengers to be equally responsible. So I think the courts are there to protect the fundamental rights or liberty of an individual, that too who is protected with the constitutional judgments of the Supreme Court. Indian Express newspapers versus Union of India has categorically says that the expression freedom of the press has been protected under Article 19(1)(a). And if arrest of such a journalist is being made, so common people, you may understand what kind of law violation is taking place. So that's a case where the court must take strict action against the authorities, the person, the SHO who has registered that FIR against under the SC/ST Prevention Act, and I am sure that the court will take his action. And also we all are standing with the Bhawana. Not because of that the Bhawana is journalist, because it is the attack on the individual's powers, authority given under the Constitution, fundamental rights of an individual, and we all are with the Bhawana.
You know, this is an attack and assault on life and liberty. Let's just put it in words that people understand. Ashwani Dubey, Swapnil Kothari, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for putting the case in perspective for our viewers who've been supporting us in our campaign as we pray for relief for Bhawana. We'll come back to this story with more updates, but